Welcome back guys to another Zero DTE video, and today Coach Ernie is going to be talking about the strategy life cycle, so make sure you stay tuned. If you're interested in becoming a pro trader, check out the link in the description where you can find Coach's education platform. Enjoy guys.
So what you're seeing, this big strategy life cycle, is a very high level view of it. And then each one of these different phases has very specific steps that you would go through. The idea is that you come up with an idea, you curate the idea, and those ideas that meet all the muster and can be promoted to your live campaign or to actual trading. And in fact, many of the individual sub-steps of the phases could be considered an entire field of study for some people. You look at this top level cycle and you say, oh yeah, I can do that. And you figure you'll conjure up something. And then you look at what the actual steps are that you go through and you say, okay, that's a little bit more complex. And then you start getting into the weeds and you start realizing, man, there's a lot more to this in order to ensure some level of efficacy at the end of the game. But yeah, there is a lot to it. That's why I'm coming back to what you had originally talked about, Doug, and that's like coming up with a new strategy or an idea. That's great. The chances of your new idea succeeding without going through all of the proper vetting is virtually nil in the long run, right?
Yeah, no, I get that very strongly. I get the picture that most of my attempts have been just the beginnings and not following through thoroughly with the testing process. And that's what I'm changing in my process now.
And even the strategy that we're doing right now was originally developed off of kind of a veneer of a strategy that I observed. And at first it seemed like I had some success with it and then some failures with it. And then over time, going through this kind of process and then refining it over and over again, it is now at a point where it's pretty strong and can produce really good results if you're practiced with it. So I'm sure that where I originally observed it on trade room floors with some of the pro traders, they had gone through that same thing. In fact, all those traders out there, every trade, every strategy that they used are strategies that have been time honored and vetted through millions and millions of hours of floor traders doing this for decades. And that's how they come up with this shit. They don't just go onto the floor and start winging it. So that might be like a disappointing thing for some new people to hear, that, man, it's going to take that long before I make money. No, it doesn't mean that it will take that long for you to make money. What it does mean is that you might start making some money and then you'll get all excited, then you'll lose some of it, and then you make some, and then the volatility of those returns will start being reduced if you stay with the program. And then over some time you'll realize, oh, okay, now what I really needed to do was just figure out how not to lose, and then be able to then concentrate, once I'm good at that, concentrate on taking advantage of opportunities to raise up my capital to the next level, and then hold that level, then raise to the next level and hold that level. And then you start getting into a pattern of behavior and you get it reinforced. And once you can go through an entire year of having steady gains, and you can do that the next year, now you've achieved real consistency. That's the other thing. Consistency, what does that really mean? If you have a good year, that's not being consistent, because it could have all been due to some anecdotal market conditions. And then the next year might prove to be much more challenging. It's when you can do the same thing year in, year out. So that's implying that it can take you 2, 3, 5 years in the same manner that it takes a business. That's why I brought the business thing up, that most businesses don't start taking off until their 3rd or 5th year. Yeah, sure, there is some flash in the pans, very few. So we only deal in reality here, by the way. If you do really well, and that's great, and I encourage you to keep on doing that. And I'm very encouraged by someone like Dave Sugar, who is doing well. Now, I would look at that as being anecdotal. I wouldn't say, okay, he's a prodigy or something. Maybe you are, I don't know. But you're doing things well, but he's still extremely reserved on every decision he makes, and he's not willing to go and trade the bath because he feels like it's outside of his realm of comfortableness. Right? He's on the right path. And by all accounts, it looks like he's doing incredibly well. And maybe he has figured it out and he doesn't know it yet. And it's still going to take him another 6 months to a year before he feels like he has total control over that, because now he sees that consistency happening month over month and year over year. Everybody achieves that level at a different rate.
Thanks for watching guys. I hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did, make sure you hit that subscribe button and hit the like button below. If there's any questions that you might have for Coach Ernie, make sure you leave them in the comment section. Thanks guys.